Hey guys, and welcome to an absolutely disgusting game of Total War. I'm a Rubber Duck of War, but today we're going to be following the forces of Logic and his mighty Khorne legions, taking on Llama and the Nurgle pestily tide of disease, heading this direction. And boy oh boy, is this a disgusting game from both players. With their builds, but in very different ends of the spectrum. So let's delve into this. On the left-hand side, we have the forces of Nurgle, who arrange themselves in a gooey, juicy blob build with a couple of flies to support. And up against them is Khorne, with just mass single entities. I think we have 6 single entities in this build. No infantry, no cavalry, just single entities and flies. It is going to be a wild game. Let's go through Khorne's build first, because it's going to be a lot quicker to go through. There's a lot less models. Let's see how many there's in there. Only 166. Models in the entire army, although Nurgle not much better, only 591 for them. We have 4 units of Chaos Furies up in the skies looking to dominate where possible alongside a Bloodthirster. Really cool to see the Bloodthirster in action. Haven't seen him in quite some time in competitive play, or in general actually, it's in multiplayer, so always awesome to have him floating around up to no good and starting trouble in the Nurgle neighborhood. We have Scarbrand, of course, the beast, with 1,000 kind of different evil schemes and plans to bring pain to his enemies. And yeah, Scarbrand coming in not with all his abilities today. We have the Rage Embodied and a Wrathful Reaper, 2 very good abilities. A Coldest of Khorne just salivating at the opportunity to show his skills to someone as mighty as Scarbrand. And we actually have a Soul Grinder. I haven't seen a Soul Grinder in quite some time. Really cool to see this bad boy in action. Probably because he was bugged for so long. We never really got to see the Soul Grinder that much. I think particularly for Khorne, obviously, you know, they've got so many good other single entities. You don't see this bad boy too often, but really excited to see how he performs today. And then we have Double Skull Cannon leading the battle charge, looking to pick apart this large blob. And for the forces of Nurgle, it is just a flustercluck of madness. We've got a load of Plague Bearers in the middle, backed up by a load of Plague Toads, with a Soul Grinder of their own, a million Nurglings as well, just to swarm in and hold the blob down. And up in the skies, we have double Plague Drones, alongside a Herald of Nurgle, of course, coming in with Stream of Corruption, which I hope gets nerfed relatively soon, maybe in the next patch or so, and Fleshy Abundance as well. So, awesome stuff. Going to be a rather exciting one. These Skull Cannons are going to open up from really long range. Personally, I find them a lot better to work in a Hand of the God style approach, much like Krokgar from Warhammer 2, where you get that mid-range. But to be honest, it's, because you know, they don't have the best accuracy, but it's not that hard to hit something against this build. Like, you're going to clatter into something if you fire a shot in that general direction. Soul Grinders can open up fire for Nurgle, but there is 0 good targets. It's not fantastic at hitting air targets, and everything else is just a single entity, which a Soul Grinder isn't really designed to take down here. Skull Cannon's going to continue to open up fire. Looks like they are actually aiming at the enemy Soul Grinder. A big hit smacks that Soul Grinder square in the chest, and you can almost smell the rotten flesh burning away from the metal. Taking a significant pounding so far, and double Skull Cannons again making some big connections. Going down there, about a quarter of his HP has been lost so far. Skull Cannons have used up significant amount of their ammunition, however, they can really charge that back up where possible. They're now starting to pop shots up against the Plague Drones in the skies. Looks like they were able to singe the wings of some of the Plague Drones, have taken some significant damage. The Nurgle player can't really do too much here. He's going to have to just take the poundings from the enemy. Khorne can really dictate the early stages of the game as long as they have ammunition, and that's not something that anyone usually expects from Khorne. So obviously the Nurgle player is expecting his opponent just to bomb rush into his blob, but that's not going to be the case here. And the longer the game's gone on, and the more this kind of blob meta has formed in land battles, the more I think Skull Cannons are actually quite needed in a lot of matchups. Not necessarily against Nurgle, but up against like Grand Cafe and stuff, where they just bring, you know, free Dragon Guard, double Terracotta, and mass healing spam. It's they're kind of needed to actually bring Skull Cannons into the game a little bit more, which is exciting because I love them as units. So the Nurgle player is me going for a bit of a forest push here, I think, perhaps realizing there's so many scary single entities and doesn't want to take too much damage, but is going to rotate out of it a little bit. The mighty Coldest of Khorne is going to Leroy Jenkins himself in. He's relatively tanky compared to, you know, the damage output of your average Nurgle warrior. Soul Grinders in here, and at least we get some infantry on the field now. The Bloodletters are spawned. They're going to hack and slice into rotten flesh. Nurglings are trying their best. Soul Grinder is beating the ground in frustration. At least he's finally got some enemies to attack. Looks like the cannons will be aiming at the Nurglings most likely in combat, which I think would be a really smart play to help replenish that ammunition, but it looks like they did actually stall their assault. The other one, far more gusto and eagerly, pops into the enemy back line there. We do have a big heal going down from Nurgle. That is one advantage of being in a blob build. Likewise, we're going to get a big hill gun down the Fleshy Abundance. Rampage Embodied does go down, though. That's going to stop a lot of the mobility of Nurgle, or the control of the player from actually doing too much in the game. Air Core, of course, is going to be going well here for Khorne, you would think, with so many Furies. But it looks like the play drones, actually, with the healing, are able to fend off of the enemy. And the Bloodletters have indeed landed, and now we have a juicy, juicy blob. Oh, it's so gross and disgusting. But the mighty Bloodthirster is me attempting to cycle charge. He's been hit by the Cursed Slug, however. Scarbrand and the Soul Grinder in the middle are just tag teaming up. Look at this dream team. We have some glorious Homelander-style eye sockets there from Soul Grinder, doing beams of just pure fire and range onto the enemy. And Chaos Furies are battling in the sky relatively hard. The Bloodthirster does need to come over and support where possible. Looks like Skull Cannon was able to replenish some ammunition, has now swung behind the enemy formation, and is going to start unloading some shells into their domes, which is certainly a solid idea. Now, we need some epic music being played over this right now, some kind of Duel of the Fates. And it looks like an assassination attempt has gone down on the Herald of Nurgle. This is pretty crucial. We have the 3 large single entity monsters attacking in here. The Soul Grinder, the Bloodthirster, the Scarbrand. And if they are able to drag him down, that's going to take away the healing potential from Nurgle. And it looks like he's going to be going down here, just getting absolutely circled, beat down. And it is just a clustercluck of madness here as Nurgle attempts to desperately hold on. Scarbrand and the Bloodthirster in the middle are just 2 massive powerhouses. Balance power is now in favor of Khorne, and I think you can certainly see why. The Herald going down, no more healing for the Blob, and that's a big problem with these type of builds. They often work on synergies, and if you can pick apart their key units, they're all of a sudden in a big trouble. We are about to get a summon come in, actually. Was there a Cult of Nurgle in here that I just completely missed? There must be hidden somewhere. Oh, there he is. Cult of Nurgle is able to summon a unit to try to aid them, but the balance power is already quite against them. Soul Grinder is going to be doing some sneaky cycle charge and rear attacking into the enemy. Big Claw comes down as he just hacks and slivers, and we may get a Soul Grinder fight going down here. I'd love to see it in action. We do once again get a heal going down for the forces of Nurgle, but it is their faction ability heal as Scarbrand just continues to fight. We only have 6 models for the Khorne player at the moment against 537, but those 6 models are mighty. Enemy Soul Grinder seems to be going down once again, just been isolated by the superior single entities as well as the ones who have the majority of them. And it looks like the Skull Cannons are going to continue to pop in. We've got some decent ammunition left on them now. They can probably pull out of melee and move into fights. It looks like the Bloodthirster is attempting to cycle charge where possible and get to grips with the enemy. So obviously, in old land battle rules, I don't think you'd be able to pull these units out because there's no multi-model units left for Khorne at all on the battlefield. I believe with the new rules in tournaments, you're actually allowed to do this as long as one unit is just staying and fighting. The rest of these units could cycle charge to their heart's content. The Cult of Khorne's doing an absolute good job in fairness. He was the first in the breach. He's the real MVP here. Skull Cannons have pulled back now and going to start unleashing hell. Looks like they're actually aiming for the plague drones in the sky, perhaps perceiving them as one of the largest threats, or maybe a bit worried they may singe their masters and not get the nicest reward or present in return. We get a bigger effect go down. Raging Bodied once again going to rampage all these Nurgle units. They won't go anywhere anyway, but hey, it's always fun to take away options from your opponent. Skull Cannons continue to bust shots in. They've been pretty impressive. Be interested to see how much damage value they've got today. I think they have most likely brought to try to take down a Cougar or something, but with a Bloodthirster and a Scarbrand and a Soul Grinder, actually, I don't think that would have been too problematic for them. Big shots come in, and Nurgle does break. The goo being dripped back into the earth, where it shall grow Nurgly trees to spread corruption and plague for generations to come. Very well played for these 2 lads here. It was the mighty Logic, who is a YouTuber himself. Make sure to go check him out at logic_EU. And Llama of Sons of the Mountain. So, nice little bit of a Clash of Clans there. DBD versus Sons of the Mountain. Well played to these guys. Absolutely disgusting builds by both sides. But honestly, in land battles at the moment, you've got to prepare for this type of build. The full box build or full blob builds are very, very popular, particularly in any form of competitive games. I don't think this was a tournament game. I think this was just, 2 mates getting together and playing some games. But it's something to be aware of, and I think it is the Skull Cannons who can really come in and dominate these type of matchups. 1.4k gold value on this unit, not too shabby. The other one, only a 989, basically still full of health though. Could always get more ammunition and fight into the thick of it. Always cool to see the Soul Grinder in action as well, with a just shy of 1.7k value, 2.1 on the Bloodthirster, 3.6 on Scarbrand. Of course, the Cult has just been an absolute raid boss. I don't think the Furies did anything of a note, to be honest. They kind of just got taken out by the healing enemy flyers. Soul Grinder for Nurgle got 1.2k value. Air Core kind of got dumped, unfortunately. It doesn't look like much of it actually was able to pay for itself, at least significantly. It's a sad day for Nurgle kind all around. But of course, the build was much more designed to take down enemy infantry spam and that kind of stuff you'd expect from Khorne normally in this matchup. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a big fat juicy thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Feel free to leave a comment down below what you thought of the battle and what you'd like to see in the future. Or just feel free to leave a funny comment. I enjoy reading them all. And there's a lot of links down below in the description to Twitch, Patreon, and Discord. Until next time, guys, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.